Hello and welcome to Third Act Film. Today we'll be discussing who should be the next James Bond villain. With me is Todd James.
Hello.
And I'm James Forbes.
Hello, James.
Let's begin.
All right. So, my first suggestion. So, three of the last four villains we've had. Mads Mikkelsen,
Yeah.
Javier Bardem,
Wow.
Christoph Waltz.
Brilliant.
Right. They are all the classic archetype evil European. So I'm going to carry that trait on. And I'm going to go for Pedro Pascal.
Oh.
You know who that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the Red Viper from Game of Thrones.
Yeah. So he is...
What else has he done? Has he done a film?
It's all I've seen him in. I'm sure he's done other things, but it's all I've seen him in. But he is... First of all, I really liked him in Game of Thrones, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't have picked him.
Yeah.
He has this like charisma, this real like you were proper drawn to him when he was on screen. You were he just like an energy. He when you hear like the stereotype of movie producer being like, I don't know what it is, but he's got it. Like that's how I feel about
he's got it.
Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
And he could... We consider, like, the suggestions I've done is in the mindset that it's Daniel Craig being the next Bond.
Yeah.
For the next
Right.
film.
Or at least similar feel to the Daniel Craig films, yeah.
And I think, Pedro could hold his own with
sure.
Daniel Craig. And
I could, if they had a punch up as well, I could believe them.
You could believe it, yeah. Because he played, like in Game of Thrones, he played that whole, I'm a bit scrawny, I'm a bit smaller than you would expect, but I can still...
I'm a scrapper.
Yeah.
I'll get you.
I'm more technical.
Yeah. And he has that sort of, like, what's the right word? Like the intelligence, the deepness of like something's going on behind the scenes there. Like he's got a plan.
He's always a step ahead, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good pick. I like that.
Thank you.
My pick,
okay.
My first pick is, Shiddafor Ejiofor. I think I've said that completely. Chiwetel Ejiofor.
I think that's the best we're going to get, isn't it?
Right. Mr.
I know
Ejiofor,
who you mean, at least.
Yeah.
Right.
He is, probably his most notable film was 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah.
But why I've suggested him is because of his role in Serenity. Mm-hmm. He plays a villain in that.
The Operative, I want to say. Is that his name?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's such a different type of villain that we don't like. I can't really think of another villain like it. Maybe the guy Javier Bardem in Old Country.
No Country for Old Men.
No Country for Old Men.
Kind
of similar, but like the villain in that, for those who don't know, he knows what he's doing is wrong. He knows everything he's doing is wrong, but he doesn't mind. He's a bit like, if all of these atrocities happen and it builds a better world, I'm happy with that. So he goes around killing people, he does this like stun move, doesn't he?
Yeah,
and he
the back, like, the back, yeah.
And then they just stand there paralysed, and then he talks to them for a bit and then kills them.
He does like a good evil monologue.
Yeah. Not necessarily that he does that same character or whatever, but he has got the acting chops and he has delivered on it before.
Yeah.
Much like the other picks that they've selected of a track record. Like, they didn't just like, Christoph Waltz, what's he known for? Oh, yeah, that one comedy from...
He's played 16 villains before. It must be good.
Yeah. So...
He as well, I feel like, the same as my first suggestion, he has that thing of, you think he's got a plan. Like, he knows what he's doing at all times. Yeah, nothing is ever a surprise for him. So, yeah.
And it was rumoured to be that he was going to be... Blofeld. Right. Sorry. Blofeld, that he was going to be the kind of main...
series antagonist.
Yeah.
Right.
For more than one film, that perhaps he was behind some of the other Bond storylines. But I don't know. Maybe that's fallen through. I don't know what's happened with that. But anyway.
Well, he's not Inspector.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah.
Good pick. I can't argue with it. I got a similar one to that, which I have something to say about that one, but I'll suggest this one and then combine them because they're... Right. So, Emma Thompson.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Right.
That's really good.
So, the reason I think that her and Chiwetel Ejiofor are similar is that they're both English.
Yeah.
Right, you don't there are some, but there aren't a lot of English villains in the Bond
And
series.
England make the best villains.
Right. Partly that, but also, as much as I'm not a huge fan of it, they are exploring the Bond's past, MI5's past, MI6's past, rather.
Yeah.
And to have something like that, not necessarily an agent gone rogue, but somebody domestic who has turned on them.
If it was more like, instead of, they've done in the past, they've done it a couple of times where it's a 00 agent who's now gone bad.
Yeah.
What if a M type character
That's
bad?
exactly what I was going to say as well.
Yeah.
It is the kind of parallel to the Judi Dench M, which obviously isn't what we have anymore.
No.
But
Okay, yeah.
well, spoilers for Skyfall. Sorry,
Yeah.
if you haven't seen it in the last 3 years, it's your own fault. But yeah, and she is just, first of all, great actress. No one's going to argue that.
No.
And just obviously she's not going to have a fist fight with Daniel Craig, but she is, if she's in charge of some huge organization, you're not going to be like, what's she doing there? You'd be like, yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally agree. That's a really good pick. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Well done. Like, that's
Thank
really
you.
strong.
You're welcome.
A M gone bad.
Or
would be
that
great.
kind of ish.
That
vibe,
kind of
yeah.
ish vibe of that she now runs a different kind of organisation.
Yeah.
Or an old organisation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. You should maybe... my next suggestion,
Okay.
I'm thinking it through. I'm like, how can I wing this in? It's
Okay.
similar, but I don't think I can really.
Okay, just go for it. Either way.
Lena Headey.
Lena Headey. No
Yeah.
way. I was going to pick her.
No
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
But you didn't.
I went for I swapped her out for Emma Thompson. I didn't want to go for two Game of Thrones people.
Yeah.
So I swapped her out for Emma Thompson.
Fair
Anyway.
enough. But Lenny,
Lenny. Yeah, Lenny. Right, of Mice and Men.
she is a really good actress.
True.
She was a great villain in Dread.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot the name. Sorry. She was a great villain in Dread, and I don't have much more to say. Really,
Yeah.
she's a
Yeah.
great actress. And she could really deliver it. She
Yeah.
can deliver that kind of
Believably evil. Believably tough.
believably in control.
Yeah,
Which is
true.
always
But
good.
she can also lose it.
Yeah.
Just go manic.
Yeah,
Which sometimes Bond villains should do.
yeah,
I can't argue with that. Like I said, I was going to pick that. She is a really good choice. Again, she's a string puller, not a fist fighter.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't really have much else to say on that.
Have you got
Right,
another one?
I've got one more. This is one you are going to have something to say about, but let me
Uh-oh.
explain. All right. John Travolta.
What?
Okay.
Wow.
You do know who that is, right?
I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think everyone knows who John Travolta is. Yeah.
Okay, Adele Dazeem. So there was a rumour a while ago that Barbara Broccoli, who is longtime producer of the franchise, wanted John Travolta to be the next Bond villain.
Yeah.
And my immediate thought, like everyone listening to me say it now, was like, John Travolta? No, what? But in this Donald Trump running for president world that we live in,
Yeah.
it just, to me, it just makes sense having this like
What
sleazy,
outlandish.
yeah, like just this, he comes from money. All he's ever known is money and power. Sort of, he thinks he is just superior in every way.
Yeah.
He's always had everything he's ever wanted, and now there's this little spanner in the works named James Bond, and and there again, like we said with British people, there aren't a lot of big American villains. I mean, there was Christopher Walken in A View to a Kill, but that's the only one I can think of off the top of my head.
It's normally European or
Yeah,
British. For
yeah.
villains,
And
or Russian.
oh, they've mined Russia well.
Yeah.
And to have that kind of Donald Trump-esque, like he just has more power than you can possibly imagine. And John Travolta, despite what a lot of people are going to say, he is a good actor.
Yeah.
And let's not talk about Battlefield Earth. Let's not talk about Grease. But he has been good in stuff. Like when he was the bad guy in that Punisher film. That's He was a bad guy in one of the Punisher films.
Was he? Warzone.
It wasn't Warzone. It was one of the not good ones.
Okay.
But he was good in it. He was good as a villain. Anyway, I don't see many people agreeing with me. But
okay.
He's got that kind of like unwashed, super powerful Adele Dazeem.
Yeah.
Anyway, give me one more.
If
you got one more.
My final one.
Right.
And this is the final one, right? Have you got any more?
I haven't got any more.
This is a bit controversial as well as your George
God.
Potter.
Here it comes.
Idris Elba.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Now he's a lot of people's number one pick for Bond.
Right.
And I guess it is repeating the kind of formula that works, to be honest. Like, Skyfall is one of the most successful Bonds, and that storyline has a 0 gone bad. GoldenEye.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one where Sean Bean?
Yeah.
And he's a 0 gone
Does he
bad.
live to the end? You'll have to watch it to find out. Yeah.
Sean Bean, who's a 0 who goes bad.
Yeah.
And what about if we took the fan favourite to play James Bond and then made it as if he was a 0 or whatever, and he did it in his own way and have his own character rather than trying to play Bond?
Yeah, like they did with Colin Salmon.
Did they? Yeah.
Yeah, he tested with some people as James Bond. He
Yeah.
was never up for the role, and they were so impressed with him, and they were like, "You're so right." And okay, remember before I say this, the 90s was a different time. They were like, "But you're black, so you can't play the role."
Yeah.
So they gave him the role of another agent. Now, I love Idris Elba, and if he was cast as a villain, I'd be like, great.
Yeah.
The fight, Craig versus Elba,
That would be
like
insane.
that fist fight, I would be drooling during that.
Yeah.
The only thing is, I feel like there would be the backlash of people saying, "Oh, you didn't cast him because he's black, and now he's the villain. Black people are villains." Like that's the kind of yeah.
I think to be honest, they need to go on record and say either A, Bond is white and forever will be, and just stick with that. It's the same person. We can't. How could Bond change colour and change race and have a whole different background?
I've spoken about this many times.
You have, yeah. Or they say, you know what, Bond is just a tag name given to whoever their best operative is, and they all have different stories.
It's like 007.
And that some of these guys may be the same, maybe they've had different actors, but they are the same, but some of them aren't, and Idris Elba is a different Bond. It's just, for me, if you make Idris Elba James Bond, then it's Idris Elba trying to be Bond, and I would much rather he created a character, because he's great at it. If you've ever seen Luther, he's created this character along with the screenwriters and done a spectacular job, and I would love to see him just do a role that he can call his own rather than like, oh yeah, you were the first black Bond, and kind of forget, like,
well
also,
done.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's what I always feel like with President Obama. It's like, he didn't really have to do much. You're like, oh, well, you're black and you're president, so
you're
well
going to
done.
be remembered forever.
He won
regardless
the
of what you do.
Nobel Peace Prize the first year. He'd done nothing. He'd just got in. They were like, well done, you're black and you're a president, so...
Good job, buddy. like here's a cake.
Yeah. And I just would love to avoid that, and I feel like Idris is such a good actor that he could make a memorable,
villain. I'd be so up for that, to be honest. Yeah. If he's not the next James Bond, which he won't be.
Yeah.
That. Especially if you had him. I feel like the whole double cross thing has been done before in the franchise, and
But
the whole
works.
kind of it does. And the whole Agent Gone Rogue thing has been done. But if they just had him as, oh yeah, I'd watch it. What can I say? I'd see it.
Yeah. Cool. So, guys listening, who do you want to see as the next James Bond villain? Do leave your suggestions in the comments below.
Yeah. Do you like any of our suggestions? John Travolta, perhaps?
And as well, if you've got any suggestions for future topics, I'm going to put an email here. If you could send us an email to this, it's hello@thirdactfilm.com.
Hello.
Yeah, and we'll put it in our rotation and get to it.
Yeah.
So thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.
Bye.
I don't look at him and think, oh, he could hurt me. Like, oh, he's gonna save the world and get the girl. Oh no, it's raining. like, oh no, my powers. Like, yeah. Big stuff in Transformers that is all kind of swept under the rug because Dinobots.